The thing about Chelsea is life is never boring.
Hey chaps, welcome back to properchels.tv, your one-stop Chelsea news channel. I'm your host, as always, Logan Blue. Now, today we get to talk about West Ham United. Boo! Yes, exactly. I feel you, my brother, I feel you. Why do we hate West Ham? It's a good question, but it's a bit obvious in the sense of, well, they're a London rival. But if you really want to dig down into the why we hate West Ham, you have to go back to the 70s and 80s when hooligan culture was prolific throughout England and a little bit of Wales. Now, the West Ham firm came up against the Chelsea headhunters more times than you might think, given that we only play each other twice a year. But there were a lot of fights outside of that time frame, and of course a lot of cup games, etc. But yeah, Chelsea fans hate West Ham. Now, outside of London, you don't think of West Ham as a traditional Chelsea rival beyond the fact that they're in London and we're in London, so there's going to be some kind of rivalry. But if you actually live in London, I tell you now that Chelsea do not like West Ham and West Ham despise Chelsea. So this is going to be a grudge match, and this is never a game that we can take lightly. Now, West Ham have started the season very averagely, much like we have, right? So if I have a look at SofaScore as far as the West Ham results, they started off with a 2-1. Let me have a look here, just make sure. Yeah, they're friendlies. Okay, they started off with a 2-1 loss at home to Aston Villa. Not a good result, but Aston Villa are a very good team and they're playing in the Champions League. Then they beat Crystal Palace 2-0 away. And you saw what our game with Crystal Palace was like. That was just like a slugfest. And we were lucky to get a draw. Well, I don't know if we were lucky to get a draw, but yeah, we certainly didn't deserve to win, right? Then West Ham beat Bournemouth 1-0 in the EFL Cup. Then they lost 3-1 at home to Man City. Again, okay, fair enough. Man City are a cut above. They beat us 2-0 at Chelsea. So, 6 and 2 threes as far as those results go. And then West Ham drew 1-1 away to Fulham. Now, Fulham are not a very good team, so really they should have beaten them, but they obviously didn't. So they're below us by 3 points in the table. But that doesn't mean that this is a cakewalk for us. Quite the opposite. They've got Lopetegui now as the manager. They've got rid of Moyes, and Moyes won them their first trophy, remember, with the Conference League win. But Lopetegui is a much sexier name. He'll bring a sexier brand of football. And there are many people who say that West Ham had one of the best transfer windows over the summer. They really did recruit very well indeed. However, much like when Chelsea did it a couple of seasons ago, and even this season, to be honest, when you recruit a lot of players in one go, no matter how good they look on paper, it takes quite a while for them to become a team. People as human beings don't know the guy they're playing opposite, so they don't know whether it's a good player they're playing with or a bad player. Everybody has to prove themselves. And everybody wants to get in the first 11. So I think West Ham will be a tough nut to crack. And I don't think this is going to be in any way an easy game at all. They're a big team. They will play a counter-attacking style of football, certainly against us, although Lopetegui will try to get them to be more possession-based as time moves on. But they've only been getting about 40% possession in their games in the league so far, where Chelsea have been getting just on 59-60%, which is exactly how you'd expect the game to play out. They will be looking to hit us on transition. which is why, let me just bring up my team selector here, and you'll see why I've gone for a 4-3-3 formation in this game. Now, I've got Sanchez in goal. I don't really want him in goal, but he's going to get picked, so why fight the inevitable? And to be fair, he did have an excellent game in our last match. He played very well indeed. His distribution was good. He made key saves when there were saves to be made. And yeah, he hasn't done anything thus far to lose his place or to lose the confidence of the manager. Okay, at left back, I've got Cucurella. Now, Cucurella is nailed on at left back. He's the guy who has the position to lose, and we really don't have another left back who is anywhere near challenging him. I mean, Chilwell. If we were playing wing backs, Chilwell would possibly be the first name in the left back slot, possibly. I say possibly because I'm not sure Enzo likes Chile very much. I don't know why, because I think Chile, when he's fit, especially going forward, is a force of nature. But managers have different preferences, and I don't think he's the type of left back that Enzo likes. So we really haven't got another left back that will challenge Cucurella for the position in the way that we have Gusto and James on the right. Okay, right. So Colwell and Fofana in the center of defense. Of course, I think that's pretty much a nailed on for now. It's their positions to lose, although I have to say Fofana has really not in any way made me, oh, what's happened to the video? Whoa, what's going on? Let's just pull out. Whoa, calm down. That's crazy. Do you see that? Apparently the video just decided to zoom in for no apparent reason. The joys of having a video with AI driving it. That's just mad. I apologize for the extreme close-up. That's not something that anybody needs to see. Okay, yeah, so Colwell and Fofana are nailed on in the center of defense. But as I was saying, Fofana is not playing particularly well. So his position is closer to being lost than Colwell, who has been getting better as the games go on. I've got Achimpong at right back. Now, he's young, but it's his natural position. I think he'll do well in that position. And I think we should give him a shot because he's the only other natural right back we've got. Now, last week I did pick Vega to play there, but I haven't picked him there for a reason. And that reason is that I'm playing formation-wise a 4-3-3. And I've got Vega on the left of the three. Right? We've been overrun in midfield by playing a 6-6 pivot, right? And 4 up front, basically, in a nutshell. And that's just to try and shoehorn all our best attacking players in. I get that, but sometimes we have to play the team we're versing as opposed to just picking our best 11 based on who we think our best players are. But the performance of the team will be better if we are solid in midfield, because at the moment there's no transition from midfield to attack, and that's the thing that does my head in. Yeah, so I've got Vega, Fernandez, and Caicedo in the midfield, and I think that's a very good, solid midfield. Especially Vega's tall and strong. Fernandez is not the quickest, but he would be the closer to an 8, shall we say, close to the 10, but not quite. Up front, I've got a 3, and because we've got a 3, and there is no 10 per se. So in this case, I've got Palmer on the right. Sorry, Madueke, you've been brilliant, but you'll have to come on as super sub. I've got Palmer on the right. I've got Sancho on the left, and I think Sancho has played very well in 45 minutes, and everybody's getting carried away. Okay, he had a good first 45 minutes, an excellent, like 9 out of 10 first 45 minutes. And because of that, I think he deserves to start over Neto. However, that doesn't mean he's the next coming of Eden Hazard, okay? But he certainly deserves to start. And up front, a hot take here, I've got Nkuku because I just believe that we have to have him in the team. And when he comes on, he scores. I know he's not a big guy. He's not the traditional target man. But then again, does Jackson play with his back to goal like Drogba played? No. He makes a lot of really good runs. But Nkuku does that. But Nkuku is far more a natural finisher. So if he gets into that position, if the ball is played and if Nkuku's on side, we have a much better chance of the chance being scored if we have Nkuku up front than if we have Jackson up front, who takes maybe 2 to 3 different attempts, if not more, before he actually scores. Whereas Nkuku, I think, will sniff out a goal out of nowhere. And any chance he does get, you'd probably say, 1 in 2, they're going in, right? So that's my team selection. Ultimately, my thought with this game, as I said, it's going to be another Burnley game. It's going to be unattractive. The crowd will be on our back because we're at West Ham. And I just think it's going to be a boring, dull, attritional 1-1 score. So yeah, I think this is just a game we just have to get through without losing. If we can pinch a win like we did against Bournemouth, brilliant, all well and good. But I just don't see us scoring a lot of goals. West Ham have been shipping goals. Well, that's not fair. They've been letting in goals, okay? But as I said, they're only 3 points below us. And honestly, if we'd drawn against Bournemouth, would anyone have said that was an unfair result? And if we'd drawn against Bournemouth, then we would have been 1 point ahead of West Ham in the league, right? So we are where we are. They are where they are. And basically, we're both mid-table teams at the moment trying to find some form. Chelsea have 2 wins on the spin, but, that's more luck than, good fortune than actual deserved, effort put into the victory, because I don't think we deserve to win against Bournemouth. And we've had one fantastic game, right, during the season, and the rest have been either bad or mediocre, average, okay, occasional pockets of, hey, that was good. But we are not the finished article by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't think Enzo knows his best formation, let alone his best team. So yeah, a dull, grinding 1-1 draw is my pick for that. So thanks again for popping in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.
Okay then, that's all the news that's fit to print, and quite a bit that isn't. As always, thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and God bless, look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.